Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, what we're chatting about today is the news/report that Celtic have found their replacement for Odsonne Edouard, and there was me thinking it was Kyogo. Yes, Kyogo and one more it seems, because if reports are to be believed, we have found the Edouard replacement we've been looking for, and we're going French again. Thomas Henry. Familiar name. A Frenchman with the surname Henry up next. Yes, please. The guy is Thomas Henry. Maybe it's Henry. I don't know. We'll continue by calling him Henry. Yes, that was from a video back in February titled 7 Potential Replacements for Odsonne Edouard. Remember that guy who commented on the channel like a month ago and basically criticised me for a lack of signings? Basically thought I was like the sporting director. He may have been onto something. But anyway, what does the report say? Well, it tells us that Celtic are reportedly winning the race to sign £7 million rated Henry. It's definitely Henry. Don't know why I ever thought it was going to be Henry, given that he comes from France. As you've already heard from me several months ago, he's playing in the Belgian top flight with Oud Heverlee Leuven, or to give them their shorter name, OH Leuven. The first thing that sticks out about Henry is his pretty impressive scoring record. Now, this season, Leuven have scored 3 goals in the league. They have all been scored by Henry. That's 3 goals in 3 games for him. Last season, he was the second top scorer in the whole Belgian top flight. He scored 21 goals in 31 matches, behind only Genk's £20 million rated Paul Onuachu. He also set up 5 goals as Leuven finished 11th in the Belgian top flight. They started the season really well and were in contention for European places before really falling away at the end of the season. But obviously nothing really to do with Henry. 21 goals in 31 games. The previous season to that, he scored 15 in 27, although that was in the second tier of Belgian football as Leuven were promoted. The rest of his earlier career was spent in the lower leagues in his native France. I'm not going to go into all the scoring records there because there's a lot of goals to talk about. Basically, this guy has scored goals wherever he's gone in his career, and his career has gradually improved as he has got older and he's played at a higher level. I mean, 21 goals in the Belgian top flight last season. I would say the Belgian top flight is just as strong as the Scottish League, probably even stronger. So what kind of player is he? Well, in terms of comparisons to former Celtic players, the first one I thought of that was a completely lazy comparison was Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink, because Henry is 6'4", very strong in the air, scores a lot of headed goals, but equally is quite good with his feet. Now, when I think about it more, I think an even better comparison is probably Chris Sutton in terms of the way he plays. There's loads of Henry goals on YouTube, Thomas Henry that is, loads of compilations of goals he scored, and he seems to score a lot of different kind of goals, but I could picture Sutton scoring almost all of them. A lot of kind of dinked finishes that you would have seen from Sutton, a lot of good play with his feet for a big guy that you would have seen from Sutton, and of course some headers as well, a lot of really good goals, some volleys, some tap-ins as well. This guy seems to be able to score a lot of different kind of goals. He gives us a totally different option to anything we have at the club at the moment. He gives us an ability to go direct, to go long in games where perhaps Kyogo and Abada aren't being quite as influential. I really hope this is a deal that does come off. It's the kind of signing I and many others have been crying out for Celtic to make for so long. A player who is exceeding expectations in a league that is a similar level to Scotland, but he's playing at a smaller club. We've seen it already this summer with some of the business we've done. I'm going to come on to that in a wee second, but one point I wanted to make first is I don't think this is the kind of signing Celtic would have made a year, 2, 3 years ago. I just think we would have plumped for someone down in the English lower leagues and paid a premium to bring them to the club. I think Henry is exactly the kind of player we should be going for. As I say, playing well in a league similar to Scotland, but Celtic can still be seen as a real step up for them. They'd have something to prove. Now, the next point I wanted to make, Henry is 26. He actually turns 27 next month. This isn't a project signing we're making. This is a proven goal scorer playing in his prime that we're bringing to Scotland. Now, of course, there's never any real guarantees with a signing. There is always risk. I thought Albion Ajeti was going to score far more goals than he has at the club. But Henry seems to have the exact kind of pedigree that you would want to bring to Celtic, and without sounding like Ian Crocker, he comes with a guarantee of goals, I would suggest. And this is a theme we've seen so far this summer in Celtic's transfer business. Now, count out the two Sheffield Wednesday guys, Liam Shaw and Asazi Urhoghide. I think they are more project signings and they're not even really in the first team plans at this point. Count out Lila Bada as well, because Lila Bada is 19, a lot younger than the other signings we've made. But when you look at Furuhashi, Carl Starfelt, Joe Hart, these are players who are experienced and are coming to Celtic in their prime, or in Joe Hart's case, a little bit after their prime, but certainly not way after his prime. Now, whether Henry comes to the club or not, we'll have to wait and see. I know I get a slagging in the comments for even bringing up players before they've come to Celtic, but the reason I do it is it's worth talking about, and clearly a lot of you like hearing about these players and interacting in the comments and chatting about these players and finding out more about them. But this is a player, to me, if we bring him in, that again would just signal a real change in Celtic's transfer policy this summer. The days of us seemingly going for a full team of young projects seems to be over. There has been a conscious effort, whether it's from Don Mackay, Postecoglou, a bit of both, whether it's just because we have such a young team at the moment and need more experience, but there is clearly a big change in how Celtic have done transfer business. I really like the look of Henry. I hope we bring him in. If we bring him in this week and a right back as well this week, I really think we'll be laughing. Yes, we'd still need to do a lot more business, probably 2, 3 or 4 players still after that, but it would really set us up in a good place. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this reported interest in Henry. Would he be a starter for Celtic? Because I think that's a pretty big question when you've got someone like Kyogo playing, but also a 7 million signing. Does it mean that Odsonne Edouard is definitely away? What does it mean for Albion Ajeti and Lee Griffiths? There's so many different parts of this that we can chat about. Have you enjoyed this video? Well, if yes is the answer, and I certainly hope it is, then please feel free to subscribe to 67 Hail Hail. That way you won't miss out on any videos with Celtic icons Jackie McNamara and Scott McDonald, and also me, John, David, Ewan, Stevie, Ryan, etc. Give it a go, it'd be really appreciated.